Hello, I'm Jennifer from the Worcester branch of the Wayne County Public Library. Did you ever think when you were growing up that maybe you wanted to be a fairy or a princess or maybe some costume character at the Renaissance Fair? Well, since our summer reading club theme is Imagine Your Story, I'd like us adults to imagine what it might be like if we could dress up again. So today, for our Tuesday Crafternoon, I wanted to show you how to make a floral crown of your own so you can be a fairy or a princess or ready for the Renaissance Fair this summer. As you can see, I've got lots of different silk flowers around the crown, and they're all connected to a crown, a form, a circlet made out of this, I guess, twine wrapped wire. You could use some other kind of stiff wire or cording that would work well. You don't want just plain wire because you don't want it to cut into your head. That would be bad. But you do need something with enough stiffness to be able to hold that shape and hold the flowers on as well. You will need probably a pair of wire cutters. I've got this nice small craft pair we keep here in the office. You'll want a selection of different silk flowers and leaves. And what I've done on each of these is cut the stem down to a couple of inches because that's going to mean we've got less to wrap on the form. You will also want some floral tape, which is not very sticky. So we're going to have to wrap it multiple times to make sure that things hold in place. You'll need scissors and some ribbon to decorate at the very end. And I've got this really sparkly pink ribbon to go with the pink flowers that I'm going to use. So first thing we want to do is I have already cut a length of the wire wrapped with the twine because what I want to do first is take this and work it around my head. And once I know about how loose it's going to be, and this is actually going to be a crown for someone else, so I need to make it a little bit bigger. Then what I can do is, you see, I know where that fits together. I'm just going to wrap this wire around to hold it in place. But I'm not going to do it too tightly because if I need to adjust it, I want to be able to do that. Another wrap, and then I think I'm going to trim the excess off. Wire cutters. And we'll just finish wrapping that around. You want that end to poke out towards the outside edge of the circlet, not the inside edge. You don't want to poke a hole in your head. All right, so since I've got that wrapped, and I'll check again. Yep, that fits, it's loose. That should work for my friend. Then I will go ahead and get started. Now, I've got several different kinds of silk flowers here. I've got these big pink ones. I've got some smaller white ones, some smaller pink ones, some leaves. So what I'll do first is just lay out how I want to arrange them, and then I'll start wrapping. So let's get started. So I've got my form ready. I've got my flowers and leaves arranged in the way I want to add them to the form, starting with the center front. And I've got my floral tape. Now I want to start with a nice little cluster at the front, and I'm just going to do one side first and then come around and mirror it on the other side. But I want to start with a small white one and then two big pink ones in the middle. So first thing I want to do is these stems, what I want to do is bend them just a little bit because I'll show you as we wrap. I'm going to wrap around here, but I want the flowers to face out. So I've got that first one bent, and Just going to cut a length of the tape here, the floral tape. And this is a little tricky to get it going because, like I said, it doesn't stick very well. So you'll have to hold on to everything and get this tape wrapped around nice and tight. And just kind of layer it all the way around. All right, so we've gotten it that far. I still have a tail left on this tape, so I'm going to go ahead and get the next one bent and ready to tape into place. Oops. Since the silk flowers are on plastic wrapped wire stems, this really is pretty easy to do, to bend them and get them into the right place. Okay. So I'm going to just snug that flower close to this one and then keep wrapping. And I'm going to add the tape around this stem as well. It's a little tricky sometimes working your way around the petals, but just be patient and you'll get it just fine. Fortunately, you can kind of adjust as you go. All right, so that's the first tape. You'll notice it kind of wants to come undone here, but that's okay because we're going to work some more around it. So next up I want to do some leaves. Let's see how we're going to do this. Sometimes it can get a little bit tricky trying to add in the next flower or leaves because the shapes aren't always the same, but just give yourself a little bit of time and a little bit of grace and you'll manage to get it worked in somehow. If you have to stop and adjust something, that's okay. Take your time. Now, as you can see from the first floral crown, I'm not going to try to bring flowers all the way to the very back. I still want to leave this open where I have the wire twined together like this, just in case we need to adjust it. And also, once you have the crown on your head, you're really going to see front over to the sides of your head. It wouldn't show up as much if you had flowers in the back, because it might get tucked under your hair, or, it's just not going to be as visible as the front. So I'm going to just finish wrapping up on this side, and then I will lay out what I need for the second side and do that as well. So to finish off here, we're just going to wrap the rest of any stems that are left over. And you especially want to get that cut end covered. So again, you don't have that bare metal poking into your head. And I'm just going to sort of tuck the end in here. To finish it off. All right, so that's one side done. And then you can just turn and kind of work some of the pieces around so that they maybe stand out a little more. And they get filled in. So that's what we have so far. What I'll do next is lay out what I need for the second side. I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll come back to finish it off. Okay, so now I've got all of the flowers on the flower crown. And there's just a little bit of adjustment to do. And now what I want to do is add some ribbons. So I think what I'm going to do is add them here instead of right here at the back, so that I can still have room to adjust this if needed. And I want to make some nice long streamers. So let's see. And we'll do them about the same length on both sides. Okay, so I'm just going to pretty much just tie them on. So I'd like to knot them first. Make sure they stay in place. And then we'll just do a nice loop to loop for a nice bow here at the back. And then that'll drape down nicely. So do that here on the other side. Hopefully we can use it to keep the last of that floral tape down. What do you think? Let's do this. Here we go. That's a nice tricky way to secure the last of the floral tape. And we'll do a bow on this side. You may decide that doing the bows like this isn't quite your taste, so you might want to just keep them at the back. Totally up to you. You might want to weave ribbon all the way around. You can do that too, but for now, we have a flower crown with some ribbons. So, I'm going to see if I can find my friend to try it on her. All right, so we have the finished flower crown, and my friend Diana is here to try it on. So have a seat, Diana. Yay. And let's see, get this settled on your head.
This is my true form.
Is it loose? Is it too snug? How does it feel?
A little loose, just a touch.
All right, so what I'm going to do is just unwind this a bit here at the back. All right. We want to make sure this is adjustable so you can fit it to whoever you want. How's that?
I love it.
You've got your pink sparkling ribbons.
That's really what I need.
So perfect. And that is how you make a flower crown and surprise a friend. So,
love it.
So until the next time, we hope you stay safe, be kind and friendly to your friends, and get creative. Bye.
Bye.